welcome to Check-In with Miss Rebecca. We're going to have a Bible story time, and we're going to keep working through the book of Genesis. I think it's kind of fun to kind of go from story to story to story. Obviously, this is the children's storybook, and so every single story that's in the Bible is not in this book, but this kind of hits some of the big ones. That doesn't mean, though, that if it's not in this one, that it's not important, because as we know, every single story in the Bible is important because they're all God-breathed and they're all important to read. But we're just going to hit a couple highlights. So yesterday we started out with Noah's Ark and Noah building the ark. But now the ark is built, what to do next? So we're going to start with two of every kind, which is Genesis 7, 1 through 16. God told Noah it was time to load up the ark. Noah took his whole family into the ark with all the different animals. God told Noah to take at least two of every kind of animal into the ark. Noah did everything that God had told him to do. When everyone had entered the ark, Noah and his family and all of the creatures, the rain began, and it rained, and it rained, and it rained, and it rained. I know sometimes when it rains a lot at home, I get kind of overwhelmed with it, and I get a little bit nervous, just because I always worry about my basement flooding. But I can't even imagine being Noah and his family going through this kind of rain. So then we're going to go on to sending out the dove, Genesis 8, 1 through 19. God did not forget Noah and the animals. God sent a wind over the earth, and the water dried up. The ark came to rest on a mountain. Noah opened a window and sent out a raven. The raven flew back and forth until the waters had drained above the land. Then Noah sent out a dove to see if the waters on the fertile land had dried up. But the dove found no place to rest and returned to the ark. 7 days, Noah sent out the dove again and again and again. This time, the dove returned in the evening with an olive leaf in its beak. I know after a big storm, I always get really excited actually to see the wind and to hear the wind, because I always think of this story and think of how God is drying up all of the water and all of the flooding and all of the areas that have way too much water, and which we saw a lot this past week. 7 days later, Noah sent out the dove again, and it did not return. Noah knew that meant that the water had dried up. It was time to open the door of the ark. All of the animals and all of the people came out of the ark onto dry land. So God told Noah to build this big, huge ark, which he did. And then God told him to get two of every kind of animal, stick it on the ark, which he did. Then God shut the ark, and it began to rain and rain and rain. And Noah was stuck in this ark with these animals and these people. Do you feel like Noah? Are you feeling stuck in your house with the same people over and over and over again? Well, what I do know is that God did not forget about Noah. And Noah and his family were able to come out of the ark. And I also know that God has not forgotten about us. And so we will be able to leave our homes. We will be able to join our soccer teams and our violin lessons and our piano lessons and playing in the park with our friends. We just have to wait for God's timing. Again, we don't always understand God's timing, but what's important is to take a deep breath and remember that God loved Noah, and God loves you, and God is taking care of you also. So I hope you enjoyed this Bible story, and come back for the next one, and you can hear the rest of the Noah story. All right, everybody, have a great day. Bye.
We can turn our heart through the words we say. Mountains crumble with every syllable.